Hi guys, it's Paula and I hope you are doing well. So today I thought we could just have a little chat. And I thought about doing this during like a get ready with me kind of situation, but the truth is I just want to focus on the words that I'm trying to get out of my mouth. And I don't know if I could do that while I'm also putting makeup on. So let's talk. Typically, I consider YouTube an escape from my everyday realities and sometimes from the realities of our world, our planet. And so I don't like to get too heavy with the material on this channel because I want you to come to me when you need a break from reality. But I've been thinking about some things and I thought maybe we could start a little dialogue about it. So the comment section is open for any of you to weigh in, respond, respectfully disagree, whatever. So basically, what I've been thinking about, if you break it all down to the simplest form, it's my history of buying makeup and other things in life. This would apply to a lot of different areas of consumerism and the core values that I was raised with. My own personal journey started from an environmental impact. What my choices were having on the environment. And up until recently, that has been my driving force for trying to buy less, trying to use up everything I have, trying to be more of a conscious consumer, and trying to change my mindset that just because I have the money doesn't mean I need to contribute to impacting the environment the way that this beauty lifestyle contributes. And I think we all know by now that it does negatively impact the environment. From the manufacturing plants all over the world that make these makeup products and the pollution that they produce, to the airplanes and the trucks and the boats that ship them all over the world and the impact that that has on the environment, to the packaging and materials that I eventually throw into the garbage and the role I play in that. So I think we can all agree that there's a lot of good reasons to not buy more than we need for the sake of the environment. Another factor that I have not committed to yet, but I see a lot of my friends committing to in a very meaningful way, is the effect on consumerism and animal cruelty. And I have an unbelievable amount of friends that are only buying products that are cruelty-free because we all know that if products are tested on animals, it impacts the animals on our planet. I might be going cruelty-free at some point. I have not fully committed to that yet. You guys know Maybelline Age Rewind is my concealer, and until I can find a dupe for that, I cannot fully go cruelty-free because I am completely addicted to that concealer. But my friends that are cruelty-free and talk about it either on Instagram and YouTube are having an impact on me. So I just want to thank you all that are cruelty-free for sticking with it and keeping your message strong, because it is impacting me and I am hearing you. But recently, my brain has been going to a different place, and that is the impact of my purchasing on other humans. And the fact that whether it's money or makeup, you can't take it with you when you're gone. It is a sad fact. What has gotten me thinking like this? I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it was my little health scare earlier in the year. I've read up on what happened to me. I had a colloid cyst in my brain, and colloid cysts are rarely deadly. But of course, when you're on the way to the hospital in an ambulance after being diagnosed with a brain cyst, you're not really sure if you're gonna live or die. So I had a few moments on that ambulance ride to think about these things, and oh my gosh, my prized makeup possessions were all of a sudden becoming my husband's burden. You know, like, my poor husband is gonna have to deal with all this crap that I'm leaving behind if I don't make it out of this. And that really stuck with me. Maybe it's just the season of Thanksgiving. The day I'm filming this is actually Thanksgiving, and there is something about the season of Thanksgiving that makes me think about the people that don't have as much as I have and aren't as fortunate. And I hate this word, but it's a word. that aren't as fortunate and privileged as I am. I've never been a big fan of the word privileged. It has a very negative connotation from my childhood of like rich kids on yachts, but really at the end of the day, I am privileged. I live a privileged life and I'm aware of it. Another thing that has happened, and part of it has to do with my little health scare, is I started to go to church. Now, don't click out just yet. Don't click out, because if you are not religious, if you are not Christian, I think this conversation can apply to every human on this earth, every makeup-loving human. And this is about my story and my personal journey. This is not about me preaching to you. This is not about me judging you. But I have to admit that going to church consistently has had an impact on the way I've been thinking. It has. The holiday season is upon us. It is time to go into full buying mode. This is usually when I go completely overboard. I mean, just excessive. And usually the two categories that I am the most excessive with are eyeshadow palettes and lip products, because they're fun, they're colorful. I can justify it in my head that I need it because I don't have that exact same formula and that exact same color. I buy way more products than I can realistically use or get to in my lifetime. And recently I've been thinking about the fact that my church and the surrounding churches in our community are hosting homeless people one night a week. And so between all of the churches, there's a place for the homeless people in our community to sleep 7 nights a week so that they have a bed. And some of the people at the church who are directly involved with hosting these people who come to spend the night at the church because they have nowhere else to sleep are telling us, like, hey, these people need toiletries, they need deodorant, they need toothpaste, they need toothbrushes, they need shaving cream and lotion. And I'm thinking, oh my God, like, I have a $129 eyeshadow palette that I've used 2 times in my office. And there's some guy who doesn't have toothpaste to brush his teeth at my church every Monday going to bed on a mat on the floor. It's really shaken me up big time. And I just wanted to share this with you because I know a lot of us are caught up in the spending of the season and the buying, and historically that has always been me. I am ridiculous. I will spend hundreds of dollars on myself while buying a Christmas present here and there for others. I wanted to share this with you guys because this conversation has been playing itself out in my head a lot lately, and it's going to continue playing itself out throughout this holiday season as the temptations become more and more and more, and it gets harder and harder to say no. Sephora had an amazing sale yesterday. They were offering a bunch of amazing products at half price, products that I have on my wish list, on my favorites list through Sephora, and I had to say no. All of these things that I think of play a role in my ability to control my urges to not buy as much. My low buy rules have been huge for me, but this recent kind of thought process about my shopping habits directly having an impact on another human being has really been hitting me hard lately. It's true. Whether it's money or makeup, I cannot take it with me when I'm gone. So maybe I shouldn't have 2 or 3 or 4 lifetimes supply of makeup in my office, because it's not doing me any good and it's not going to do anybody else any good. I've never been overwhelmed with the amount of makeup I own. I've talked to so many people that are just, when they get to that feeling of having too much, whatever the definition of too much is for that person, they have to let go of stuff. They have to sell it, donate it, whatever. I've never had that feeling. I've never been overwhelmed by the amount of makeup I have until I was on that ambulance ride to Rush Hospital. And then I was like, oh my gosh, what's my husband gonna do with all this crap? What am I doing with all this crap? What is this? While I was at the hospital, there was a full day in between me getting there and my surgery day where I basically just had to sit around in a hospital bed for 24 hours and think, think about everything, which is horrible. Those moments where you just have to think about what's going on in your life are very telling. And I had a talk with the big guy. And I promised him that if he got me through that, I would try to do better. And I don't exactly know what better meant, but I think I was thinking about starting to go to church regularly and maybe giving more to the church financially to support the church, because the church does a lot of charity work, both local and nationally and internationally. And at my church, that whatever money gets donated pays for the basic costs of the church, and then they decide how the money is divided up and where it goes to help charitable causes. So those were my two promises. I've been trying to stick with them. It's been going well so far. As if talking about religion isn't controversial enough, I thought I would talk a second on politics. I will let you know that overall, I am a capitalist at heart, and I believe that if you work really hard and you earn money, you should be able to do what you want with it. That is my belief system. I am not into socialism. I am not into the government taking all of our income and then deciding for us how our money should be spent. That is not my viewpoint. If it's yours, that's okay, but that's not my viewpoint. I believe that hardworking people should be able to keep their money, and that all governments in general are very poor at managing money, and so they shouldn't be entrusted with ours. However, if capitalism is to truly work, people who are making money have to find a way to share some of that money to help those that don't have any, to help those that are sick, disabled, whether it's physically disabled or mentally disabled, and to get that money and resources to the people that really need it so they are okay. Otherwise, the government will step in and do it for us, and we don't want that. Well, I don't want that. So I have been making a concerted effort to give back financially. There's always room for improvement, but I'm working on it. And hopefully I am helping people in need. The city of Chicago is filled with poverty, and there is every different level of poverty you can imagine in the city of Chicago. But I live 30 minutes away from the heart of Chicago. It's just been hitting me really hard lately that rather than buying another eyeshadow palette, that one, I probably have dupes for, and two, I probably won't use for at least 5 years because I'm so busy panning the eyeshadows I have, that rather than spending my money on a new eyeshadow palette, I can do more with it to help other humans. My neighbors, the people in my community could use that money way more than I could use another eyeshadow palette. And at the end of the day, that's what it all boils down to. Regardless of my religious beliefs, regardless of my politics, there are people around me that need a lot of help, and I do not need another eyeshadow palette. I just thought I would share this with you guys. I don't know if I'm gonna post it or not, we will see, but I had to get this out so that I could stop obsessing over it, because I've been replaying this conversation in my head like a speech for a few weeks now, and I just had to get it out and share and keep going. Move on to the next topic, because this topic has been kind of consuming me lately. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let's keep the comments respectful and cordial, of course, as always. You guys always do that. I'm not too worried about you guys. You guys are not the troublemakers of the YouTube comment community, but let's keep it respectful in our conversations. But yeah, please share what you're thinking about this topic, and if it has crossed your mind, or if it's something you are already practicing in your conscious consumerism. All right, guys, that is going to be it for this video. I'm probably going to think of 5 more key points I should have mentioned while I'm editing, but it will be too late. So that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.